Of Christmas, we have a special treat. We have Mr. Charles Dickens, who is going to be enacting from his latest novel, A Christmas Carol. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Charles Dickens.
Whole dress. It began to shrink, to dissolve. Finally, it disappeared into a bedpost. And the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own, the room was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in. I will live in the past, the present and the future, Scrooge cried as he scrambled out there. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. On my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. He'd been sobbing so violently in his conflict with the spirits that his face was wet with tears. They are not torn down, he cried, holding a bed curtain in his arms. They are not torn down, curtain rings and all. They are here, I am here. The shadows of the things that would have been can be dispelled, they can be, I know they can. He was stopped in his transports by the churches ringing out the lustiest peal of bells he had ever heard. Running to the window, he opened it and put out his head. No night, no fog, no rain, but clear, bright, glorious day. What's today? He cried, looking downwards on a young boy who'd wandered in to look about him. Eh? Today, what day is it? Today? It's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day, he said. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They said they could. Young fella. Hello? Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one? On the corner? Well, I should say I do. Tell me, the prized turkey that was hanging in the window, not the small prize turkey, but the big one. What? The one as big as me? Oh, what a lovely chap it is. Yes, my book. It's hanging there now. Is it? Go and buy it. Walker, cried the boy. No, said Scrooge, I am in earnest. Go and buy it. Tell them to bring it here, then I may give directions where to send it. Come back with the man, I'll give you 6pence. Come back with him in less than 10 minutes. I'll give you ½ a crown. The boy was off like a shot. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's house, he said. He won't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. What a story that will be. Joe Miller never told such a tale as this. Now the hand in which he wrote the address was not a steady one, but wrote it he did. And he was downstairs ready for the arrival of the poulterer's man. What a size that turkey was! Could never have stood on its own 2 legs. Would have snapped them off like 2 sticks of sealing wax. He dressed himself, all in his best, and he was out on the streets. Now by this time, the people were pouring forth, as he'd seen them with the ghost of Christmas present. He walked along with his hands behind him, with such a delightful smile on his face that 3 or 4 good-humoured souls stopped him and said, a good morning to you, sir, and a Merry Christmas. And he said afterward that all the blithest things he had ever heard, these were the blithest to his ears. In the afternoon, he made his way to his nephew's house. Passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to knock, but made a dash for it, and knock he did. "Is the master at home?" "Oh, yes, sir," said the girl. She was a very nice girl, very. "Where is he, my dear?" "He's upstairs, sir, with the mistress in the drawing room." Scrooge's hand was on the door handle in an instant. "It's all right, my dear, he knows me, I'll let myself in." "Fred?" "Why, bless my soul, who's this then, eh?" "It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I've come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?" Let him in? It's a mercy he didn't shake his hand off. He was at home in 5 minutes. Everyone was the same when they came in. The niece, Topper, the 2 fat sisters, they were all just the same. What merriment. What games they played. What wonderful, wonderful happiness. But he was up early the next morning. Oh yes. He's at the office very early. If he could catch Bob Cratchit coming in late, that's what he set his heart on. And he did. 9 o'clock, no Bob. 15:15, no Bob. Bob Cratchit was a full 18.5 minutes past his time. In he came through the door, his hat off, his comforter too. He was on his stool in an instant, pen in hand, driving away, trying to overtake 9 o'clock. "Good morning," said Scrooge in his old voice, or as accustomed as he could feign it. "I'm truly sorry, sir. I am behind my time." "You are indeed behind your time." "I'm sorry, sir. I was making merry with my family. It shall not happen again. It's only once a year, sir." "Well, I'll tell you what, Bob Cratchit. Come in here, because I've got something to say to you. I'm going to increase your salary." Bob trembled, moved a little closer to the ruler, and for 1 second it crossed his mind to cry out for help, in case maybe someone would come running in with a straitjacket. But no, he kept his peace. "A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I've wished you and many a long year. I will increase your salary, and I'll help you with your struggling family. We'll discuss it all this afternoon over a bowl of smoking bishop. And put some wood on the fire, and go and get another coal scuttle before you've got another eye, Bob Cratchit." And he did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He was as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city ever knew, or any borough town in the good old world. And people laughed when they saw the changes in him. But his own heart smiled, and that was enough for him. He had no further dealings with the spirits, lived his life by the principle of total abstinence. But people did say of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed that knowledge. May that be said of us and all of us. And as Tiny Tim said afterwards, God bless us. God bless us each and every one.